Shalom, shalom. Hey, how everybody doing this afternoon? We just want to come and introduce you to the next teaching or the next sharing that we have. I want everybody to really listen to me on this one. Really catch me on this one. I have so many that says, you stay in the Old Testament, or you only study the Old Testament. They don't realize that the Old Testament shows you, and let me give you the correct words, they don't realize that the Old Covenant explains and bring you to the renewed covenant. Y'all know it as Old Testament, New Testament. Well, I can't change what the Romans and the Greeks transferred the words to. I can't change how and what when we was in apostolic, that what we was taught. Can't change when we was in holiness what we was taught, or Baptist or Methodist. I can't change what the Muslims was taught. Can't change what the Jews was taught. I can't change none of that. But on tonight, I'm going to introduce you to something that has nothing to do with religions, nothing to do with Islam, nothing to do with Christianity, nothing to do with Judaism, nothing to do with Hinduism, nothing to do with Confucius, or, none of that. What I'm going to introduce you to is something that been here way before any of the spin-offs from Judaism, because everybody don't realize Judaism came from the way that was taught even before Moses was Moses. But I want y'all to hear me on this. What I'm about to share with you and introduce to you now has nothing to do with religion. And we used to say this in my Christianity walk. We used to say that it ain't a religion, it's a way of life. And a lot of people don't realize how true that is. It's a way of life. It's a way of going after things. It's a way of dealing with things. This walk, when I'm going to introduce you, because it's a series that 4 individuals going to give you their perspective, their understandings, their dealings, their eyewitnesses experience. These 4 individuals going to give you everything you need if you only set aside all that you have been taught. When I mean set aside, I mean open up your mind and allow a glimpse of the truth to come in. Everybody that is in this world, everybody says that they have it right. Now I'm finna give you something. I'm finna say something that only the ones who are really seeking the truth is going to grab. Now I want you to hear me on this. I'm finna introduce you to the series, to the life of set apartness. There was one individual who came, and as you know it as the New Testament, and as we know it as the Revised Covenant, came and instituted and was the beginning of set apartness. And we who sit here, day after day, minute after minute, we who sit here have to really understand that our lives depend on us getting it right. Because once you enter in and once you begin to confess that you know your life is at stake, you have to stand and live what you professing. There's no other way after that. We used to have a saying that we've been brought with a price. The price of somebody's life. That saying is so true. Now, I'm not coming to denounce what you've been taught. This series is not about who's right or who's wrong. This series is about what is right and what is wrong. And there's a lot of us who only depends on what somebody else tells us. See, we don't do no searching on our own. We don't do no studying on our own. We have become so dependent on the Sunday school teacher, the pastor, the preacher. We have them become so trustworthy that what they're giving us and what they're teaching us and what they're telling us is the truth. But I'm here to ask you. The book says, study. Don't be like the ones that was on the Mount of Transfiguration. And they said, notice we don't want to hear his voice no more. You go up. And whatever you tell us to do, that's what we going to do. Which that was a lie. They didn't do what Moses told them to do. As soon as Moses was gone for a while, his brother Aaron told all of them to bring him the gold. And the same thing, I want y'all to hear me. The same deity, the same God, the same one that had them in all that bondage, they fashioned and made the same God. Now my question is this: If that calf did not save them in Egypt, what made them think that it was going to save them in the wilderness? But see, we don't realize the story. We haven't grasped the concept of the story. It wasn't whether the calf was going to save them, or it wasn't whether anything was going to save them. They was to the point too, if we don't see it, then we don't believe it. And I want y'all to really reel yourself in and realize we is at that point right now. You want a Messiah that somebody's seen, that is able to draw a picture of, able to make statues of, mosaics, that you can see it. Set apartness is serving an invisible being that no man have ever seen. Now I know that sounds ludicrous, don't it? How you serving something that you ain't never seen? This is where this series really going to change the hearts and the minds of the people. Especially when you hear the story of these four individuals. See, I'm going to be straight up and honest with you. You look at people every day and they appear to be okay, going on, got it going on. And I'm going to tell each and every one of you right now, don't let appearances fool you. You don't know what's going on with a person. You don't know how they are really struggling trying to maintain. And the only thing that most will do is dictate their own will, not even considering that the person, as you can see the bags up under my eyes, sleepless nights, many hours I have set up and crammed and dig and looked and try to find out who we are, where we come from, why we do what we do. And the Father, the Most High, and you call him what you want him, I call him Yah, the Most High, my Father, is showing me that there is a more excellent way. And whenever we get into these scriptures, you will see that our belief, our worship, and our dedication have to exceed the ones of the Pharisees and Sadducees, Zealots, the Essenes with Essenes. There was 4 movements in the time of Emmanuel. And you're going to see that your belief and your dedication and your walk and your life living better exceed theirs. All this mediocre stuff that you are dealing and acting and performing with, every Sunday you go to the show and you see him perform, you gonna have to realize that it's more to this than just jumping and hollering in a building. It's more to this than blowing the dust off your Bibles on Bible study night, toting it on Sunday morning, dressing up in your suits, your ties, your finest clothes, your best wear. It is more to it than that, y'all. I wish for some reason I can get you to hear me. It's more to it than depending on if the pastor come out with a sermon that make you feel good. It is more to it. See, you don't grasp this, and I want you to really grasp this. Go to it. Your life as you profess it to be. If it ain't like where these 4 individuals going to introduce you to, I'm going to tell you straight to your face, you lost. There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is death and destruction. Don't fool yourself. And I'm going to tell you this again. Don't fool yourself that you got all you need. That is teaching that I get every Sunday in these articles that I go by in the creed in our church. All this is so sanctimonious that, hey, as long as I pay my tithes and get up there and, serve on the usher board or serve on the deacon board or serve on the trustee board, as long as I tote the pastor briefcase in his coat, naming to be his armor bearer. And let me tell y'all something. It has nothing to do with the Roman way of life that you have already fell victim to. When you is introduced to the whole armor of Yah, first thing you see is a Roman soldier. That's not true. If you're not looking at a priest with the 12 tribes as the breastplate, his staff and his word, if you're not looking at that, then I'm sorry. You're missing it. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Stop rejecting what you don't understand and go search it out for yourself. See if it's listen, you're supposed to try the Spirit by the Spirit. You can quote this stuff so good, but how about live it? How about put it to work? You ain't got to sit here and see, as I said, you see all the bags up under my eyes. Yes, I'm tired. I've been fighting all the attacks from here and there on my family, on me, on the health of my family. But I'm still before you. You just don't know what is going on with me right now. But I'm still here. And you want to know why I'm still here? Somebody need this, what the Father has given. Somebody need it. I could be asleep in my bed. Don't have to be up no time at night. Rest, get up, zip-diddy-doo-dah, zip-diddy-day. But it's time that somebody begin to think about a soul. Pulling a soul back out of this poisonous doctrine that have been handed down from a set of individuals that is out to destroy you. And I want everyone to listen to me. All you rudy complexion people just like me. Whether you're a little lighter, like this wall behind me, or a little darker, like this zipper, I want you to hear me. The line of Japheth and the line of Ham is out to destroy you, Shemites. They is really out to destroy. If you only know that it ain't got nothing to do with flesh, it's a spiritual shot. And why you think the Father wrote and spoke and said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge? Why you think he put that in there? But for all you who say, oh, he stay in the Old Testament, we ain't worrying about the Old Testament, we live in the New Testament, we live in the New Testament. Okay, since you continue to say that you live in the New Testament, I'm going to introduce you to the renewed covenant that you need to live in. Because if you don't realize, he said, not one jot or tittle shall pass. Not one little mark will pass. Everything else is going down but the word. Now, a lot of us have this bad habit. We want to pick and choose what portion of the word we want to live by, what portion of the word we don't want to live by. We want to pick and choose. Choose you today who you going to serve. You can get so much angry at me. Don't even view the videos. Don't even, it's fine. And I have done my part. I've done my part. I'm sharing the good news with you. And for those of you who only think that the Father only deals in the Old Testament, as he put it, the Old Covenant has not been done away with. It been renewed. Listen to what I'm saying. The Old Covenant have not been done away with. It been renewed. And what am I saying? You and I better ask ourselves this question. How was it that them people was faithful? And as you say Holy Ghost, we say Ruah. See, I'm telling you, I'm going to enter you for to come in the set of partners. They didn't have the Ruah on the inside of them like we do. See, this is something that you don't realize. The more you have is the more required. I want y'all to please listen to me closely. I ain't trying to scare you. I'm trying to warn you. You got a gift in you that was sent by the Most High. And I want you to think about what does this gift know? Think about what does this gift possess. Think about what is the magnification on this gift that is on the inside of you. Everything that you do, think, feel, imagine, conceive is being written down. You can prove me all day long. You can tell me all day long how pious and holy you are. Every time when the truth comes and you say, I ain't gonna believe that, it's being wrote down. And now my question is this: where is your excuse for that? How can you deny whenever the Ruah have wrote it down? Date, time, moment. You can sit there and say, well, I don't remember. But it's one thing I want to share with you. Just because you don't remember it, just because you don't believe it, just because you don't want to agree with it, just because you don't accept it, don't mean that it ain't right. And don't mean that this is not what you're supposed to do. Because you don't agree with it, because you don't accept it, because you don't want to be in, because you feel like that what you've been taught got you there so far. Now I want you to ask yourself, where is you? Where is you? Ask yourself this question. How come the demonstration of the power is not being possessed? How come? See, each time when I talk about the power, it brings me to a place. We looked at this video called the Azusa Street Revival with Tommy. And the man spoke of stuff that took place that was so extraordinary. Limbs growing back, teeth growing back, healings. Everybody had the walkers and the canes and the crutches. That the anointing was so strong that the people couldn't pass by the building. All the way down to the train station, they falling out, giving praises unto the Most High. Now my question is this: do we when you get up on your Sunday mornings and you go up in your buildings, I'm going to ask you this question. Do we see limbs growing back? Do you see teeth growing back in people's mouths? Do you see moles or warts falling off people? Do you see cancer tumors coming out of people? I want to ask, I'm just asking. Or do we go up there and watch a show, watch the people perform? The choir performing. The preacher performing. And then you pay for their performance. Funny thing about it, some perform for free. Yeah, some perform for free. But the headliner don't perform for free. They get paid. Now I ask you this question. Go read in your books. And I want you to show me. You call him Jesus. I call him Emmanuel. Both names is the same. The angel told them both to name this one and said that they would call him that one. It's the same if you want to put it. The only difference is if you call him Jesus, 90% of the people think about the blue-eyed, long-haired person that they see on their wall. They don't think about the one that Daniel and John see. See? That's why I call him Emmanuel. Because I won't get confused. I won't have no picture in my mind. I follow him by my true belief. You'll say faith. I say belief. Faith is Roman words. Belief is Hebrew. See, listen to me, y'all. I'm going to introduce you to what set apartness is. And it's up to you whether you choose it or not. That got nothing to do with you denouncing your Christian faith, your Islam, your Jewish. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It got all to do with who you going to serve. Because whether you believe this or not, I'm just going to tear you up. Abraham, which all three of the religions here on earth, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, all three of them, he is the grandfather. Because from his loins, all three of these movements came from. What you mean? Watch this. You know the story. How they came to Abraham's tent. Abraham slept with Sarah, or Sarai, handmaiden, right? Which was named Hagar, right? Hagar. And they had a son named Ishmael. Then Sarai had a son named Isaac. The blessings and the promise and the lineage came through Isaac. But you need to read what the father said about Ishmael. And you'll change what you say about Islam. You'll change that tune. No place in the book did the Father ever curse Ishmael. He blessed Ishmael like he blessed Isaac. It just was that Isaac was the chosen one. Yeah, I tell you, I'm tired. And I'm not going to be on this video long. But I share with you some compelling words. If you only stop and pay attention to these 4 people who I'm going to bring before you. Now this is for all y'all naysayers who always say, he's just of that Old Testament, man. We ain't about that. Well, I'm finna step in your territory. First individual is named Matthew of the renewed covenant. Matthew. Then you got Mark, and you got Luke, and you got John. Now, to all y'all who say, hey, he's just of the Old Testament, now I'm coming to your territory. And I need you to prove me wrong what I'm going to teach. Well, I'm not going to teach you because I'm no teacher. Prove me wrong when I'm sharing. Prove me wrong that this is not the way. But I'm going to prove you wrong with the way you teach it. Mine's going to come from pure scriptures, history, truth. Not fables that been handed down from generation to generation. Not sayings that grandma and grandpa put out, and then now here you have adopted these sayings and now you call it truth when it's not true. Not 2 and 3 scriptures put together to convince you what's supposed to be right. We're going to rightly divide this. As I tell you, my heart is going out for souls. And I don't have to be up here doing this. I can be somewhere in my bed resting. But it ain't me who say I got to do what I have to do. The Most High got me up right now on this video. Because if it was up to Eddie, you wouldn't even hear my voice, see my face, or even understand any words. But as Yah speaks, I will be obedient. And I will do exactly what he said. So prepare. Get your notes together. Get all your teaching together. Bring all your church doctrine together. Because it's on. Renewed covenant from the set apartness that's finna speak to you. Matthew is the first. And he's going to come to you soon. I bid you shalom and a good night to all.